This one. So I'm not so shiny. Nope, there you go. Hey everybody, Lance Shnider, how are you doing today? Coming to you live on Building Blocks this Thursday. Thank you for joining us. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. This is actually our first live since Thanksgiving. I can't believe the year is almost over. Got guests with me today, Jason Fleagle, and I don't know what he does. He's got like all these logos and stuff. We've got Genesis, we've got Catalyst, we've got all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to let you tell him what, or let him tell you what it is that he's doing. But before we start, so I can tell everyone right now, keep is good. My dog just had his knee replacement. I keep saying hip replacement, knee replacement. Everybody keeps asking me how the dog is. Nobody cares how I am, but everyone wants to know how the dog is. So Keep is awesome. He's resting. He's all drugged up. And he'll be back on the show very soon with us.
Awesome. Well, hey guys, so great to be here. Thank you so much, Lance, for this opportunity. But yeah, as Lance said, I do a number of different things. So my day-to-day role is the business growth strategist with Genesis Marketing Group, and that's Genesis with a J. So what I do there primarily is, helping. We work with a lot of different clients, business owners, help them create marketing, branding, promotion plans for them. So we like to say we're a one-stop shop for business owners. So, they're looking at growing their business in different ways while we come alongside them, form long-lasting, trusted relationships with them, and really figure out where they want to go and help them get there in the most effective way possible. So a lot of the client communication, account management role, that's kind of my hat that I wear. But we've got, I think, a team of 16 or 17. We just added a few more people. Awesome people, experts in their fields. So everything from website development, branding, reputation management, social media, e-commerce, shop development, and management. Actually just worked with a company now where we took their monthly revenue from $24,000 a month up to most recently $90,000 a month. So I'm kind of proud of that. We just launched that, or released to the public that we just did that. And then I also have my own company, so Catalyst Growth Group. I'm the Chief Growth Officer with that company. So what I do primarily there with that company is I work with a lot of strategic partners. So I do custom consulting work. So I usually tell people I come alongside a company or a business owner. They want to get somewhere, they want to accomplish some kind of goal. So I help them define and get clarity on their story, their messaging, help them make more money and better serve the people that they're trying to serve. So I do that. I love to do that. Work with some really incredible people, learn from them as well, like the John Maxwell Company, the Ziegler Corporation, Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank, a new organization, Autism Power, that I'm really excited and pumped about. We've got the original Red Power Ranger, Austin St. John, on the board. So yeah, I'm not making it up. I'm dead serious. It's like so cool. I'm honored to be a part of the team helping to develop that organization out. And then I also write online. I've got my own blogging platform called Converge. So convergeblog.com. I work with a lot of different contributors in different areas like business, technology, science, travel, lifestyle. So I've got a lot of writers all across the world. I've got 2 writers over in the UK, one in Australia, a number of people over in the United States that write for the platform as well. So it's awesome. I love to do that kind of thing. And then I also write for some of the largest publications on Medium.com. If for those of you who are familiar with any of that publication, Medium's an incredible platform to share different blogging articles on different things. So I do that, and then I serve on the board of a few organizations. So those are, I think, if I remember correctly, all the different things I kind of got going on. Oh, one other thing I've got.
And you guys thought I had a problem, right? I was doing too many things.
I've got. I'm working right now with some of the business leaders in Columbus to develop out a really revolutionary startup. So it's going to be it's going to be in the gaming AR VR arena. So really excited about that. I can't really share too much details about it, but possibly you're going to have Microsoft, Nintendo involved. So yeah, really excited about that. I'm sure I might be able to share about that at some point in the future. Awesome. But yeah, so those are the.
So is that local or?
It's going to be probably based in Columbus, okay. But we're going to have different brand. My focus is on strategic partnerships.
Yeah.
So I love to build a team that's very clear on expectations that we have. So we've got some people over in LA, a few people down in Florida, and then a good amount of people in Columbus. So really exciting project.
So thumbs up, how many of you are old enough to have watched Power Rangers when you were kids? And I guess that's kind of an irrelevant question because my kids watch Power Rangers because everything seems to be a reboot from Transformers to everything else. I'm waiting for He-Man to come back. I haven't seen that yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to. So that's awesome. So you're doing a whole lot of things. How do you fit it all in a day? Because I know I don't. It's 3:30 in the morning some days before I make it to bed, and then you've got meetings at 7 o'clock, and it doesn't end. So that's the life of an entrepreneur, I guess, though.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I try to prioritize my time as much as I can. So again, I've been really blessed to work with the leaders like John Maxwell and Zig Ziglar's company. A lot of different, like Greg Cagle, he was one of John Maxwell's best coaches.
I don't know if those thumbs ups were for John Maxwell or they were for the Power Rangers, but I'm guessing it was John Maxwell. I can't even read over here. What does that say? Great comments.
Great comments.
Okay. All right. John Maxwell books. I mean, most people have read at least one of those, if not the majority of. Yep. 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. That's right. Is one that we just based a leadership council that we had a couple months ago here at our office on, and have a leadership event that will be coming up in January, February. So that's awesome. So what did you do before all this, before getting into entrepreneurship, before blogging, before starting your own consulting firm? What was the corporate America job, or was there one? Were you always in...
Yeah, so one of the other things I do with Genesis is I'm one of the hosts of the Grow Like a Pro show. It's a podcast that we release every Thursday at 6 a.m.
I have not been invited to be on it yet, though, just as a side
note. You will be.
I was told that. I just thought I'd bring it up while we're talking about it.
Well, the other host, Adam Bankhurst, he's the Chief Strategy Officer over at Genesis Marketing Group. He and I lead that. We've been blessed to have incredible guests already. Like J.D. Bergman from InTeam, Dana Ford from Brand Zest. We've got the Basement Doctor, Ron Greenbaum himself. That episode's going live this next week. So yeah, really exciting. But I've been able to kind of, pivot my life in different, challenging situations. So I was actually planning on going to medical school and was accepted early into medical school. I went to MVNU. Did a biology pre-med degree, and when I was accepted early into medical school at that same time, I got into doing political consulting work. So I worked with a number of think tanks based in Columbus, and then kind of expanded into working with some in DC. So my role was an organization had an issue that they wanted to know more about, mostly financially. Who are the players in this game kind of funding this initiative? So I did a lot of financial research, put the information together that would be used for information, like in presentations.
Is that Chris? We had Chris Borja giving shout outs. So he's been on your show, hasn't he?
Hey, Chris.
Chris
will be, his episode will be going live sometime soon, I think in 2 or 3 weeks. So, hi, Chris.
Chris is sporting his new photo. I was just telling him when we were messaging each other. He's got an awesome new photo with a great background that blends in perfectly with his suit as his new profile picture, which I was just complimenting him on about an hour ago while I was texting and driving. Sorry, Chris.
That's great. Chris's group is awesome too. Got into consulting work. From there, I was like, at that point, I was like, I think I want to do this more. So I respectfully declined my offer to medical school and then started to do consulting work. So I did an online MBA program, taught myself web development skills, some branding and marketing skills. Long story short, ended up working at a small digital agency, working at Abercrombie & Fitch as one of their developers. Worked as the digital director with a company called Story Builders based out of Atlanta, Georgia area. And that was where I really worked with, a lot of amazing people like the John Maxwell Company, Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank, Dr. Everett Piper, president of Oklahoma Wesleyan University. A lot of different, I was exposed to a lot of different amazing people, and then had the opportunity to deliver value to their organizations. And then I left that company, Story Builders, in January of 2018, and then ended up connecting with the guys, the internal marketing department of the Basement Doctor, Ron Greenbaum. I'm sure if you're in the Columbus area, you're familiar with.
It's an example I always use with branding. I say, if your basement needs fixed, who are you going to call?
That's right.
He is all over the place.
Yeah, he's been able to build a very trusted brand. Yeah. It's incredible. So, but they were taking the internal marketing department and turning it into a standalone company. So Genesis Marketing Group became the extension of that. So yeah, then I was honored to be a part of the team there. So yeah, that's kind of my journey from where I've been to doing what I do now.
It's a long journey from where you've been to doing what you're doing now. That's
right.
Awesome. Okay.
And I've always had a passion for writing too.
Right.
So that's like my writing with Medium and Converge blog. It's just something I really enjoy doing. If I could do one thing and pick one thing only, like that I did every day, it would probably be writing books. It's so enjoying.
So that's the retirement plan.
Yes,
that's right. There you go. So it's perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
What if your retirement plan isn't to retire? And I think that's true for a lot of entrepreneurs.
That's right.
That's absolutely the case.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever not stop working.
I don't play golf, so I don't know what I would do. I ski in the winter, and I could certainly do that all winter long. But come summertime, I might get a little bit bored. For sure. So absolutely. So awesome. So you passion obviously not to go into the medical field. I mean, made the decision to kind of be an entrepreneur and doing a whole lot of things right now, which is really, really cool. What kind of challenges have you faced along the way with doing what it is that you want to do, as opposed to doing what you thought you were going to do?
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the biggest challenges I faced was, the learning experience of. I grew up in a family that was primarily medically oriented. So my dad's a dentist. I've got a number of in-laws and siblings who are also in the medical field. So it was something that I kind of always knew, but I always had the desire to want to do things on my own and own my own company. So one of the biggest challenges I faced was like everything that I knew was kind of in the medical or dental world. So kind of stepping out was huge because I didn't have really anyone in my own close family that had done this kind of thing before. So it was kind of navigating that was very difficult. And I think one of the biggest ways that I kind of overcame that was purposefully seeking out mentors who were in a position where I ultimately wanted to be in. Anything that I have ever wanted to learn in life or a professional skill or anything, I find someone who's doing what I want to do, and I go and I learn from them. I'm like, hey, can I take you out for a coffee? Can I figure out a little bit more about how you do what you do or how you got from where you are? So
people are afraid to do that, and I always say that whatever career you're in, whatever business you're in, whatever path you want to be on, you should always find people that are doing what you want to do or doing what you're doing better than you are, and you should learn from those people.
For sure.
And a lot of people are afraid to pick up that phone or send that message to talk to entrepreneurs about that, and I've actually had several college kids that have reached out to me and scheduled time to meet to just pick my brain. I mean, they weren't in business yet, they wanted to be entrepreneurs, they didn't know exactly what they wanted to do, but they wanted to learn from other people. And I think just about every entrepreneur out there is willing to give that time to dedicate to helping somebody see what it is that they want to accomplish. But that's something important in life, period, is seek out the people that are doing what you want to do, seek out the people that are better than you at what you're doing so that you can continue to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, so that's what I mean. One of the biggest things, if I had any kind of, I guess, secrets to success, I would second exactly what Lance just said. That ability to seek out people and learn from them is incredible. One of the other challenges I faced was, if many of you are entrepreneurs in the audience,
and we all are in the audience.
Like a big challenge for me was balancing my income. So being very clear on, okay, I'm bringing in revenue here, for my business. So how can I plan that out with my expenses? So because as a business owner, you might have a lot of money coming in one day or 1 month. The next month or two, you might not have any money coming in. So that learning experience of planning out as you're doing well, think about, okay, what's an action plan if I'm not doing well or this is not going to work too well that I can use to implement to try to overcome those like bumps that happen on our journey as entrepreneurs. So. And I was watching a documentary the other day about startups in Silicon Valley, and one of the guys was like, the interviewer was like, this guy started his own company, a $1 billion company now, and he's like, how can you become an entrepreneur because there's so much risk involved? And the guy's like, I became an entrepreneur because I can account for the risk. He's like, as the owner of my company, I get to make the decisions that can kind of choose how I choose to overcome those challenges that I'm facing. He's like, why would I go, work for someone else when they're kind of dictating my decisions that I'm making? So I kind of am in the same boat, I guess, if I would say that having the ability to be an entrepreneur, you get to choose how you want to live your life. And more importantly, you get to choose how you can better serve people, which at the end of the day, that's always what I'm trying to do.
So it's interesting, anytime you talk to an entrepreneur, we always talk about serving other people. Chris, who's with us, always talks about, it being selfless as an entrepreneur, and I forget the term that he likes to use, about always giving back to society and to the entrepreneurship community. If he's still on there, he'll pop in and tell me what that word is that he uses, and I see him there right now, so I'm sure it'll come in. He's already typing. But that's something that's important is giving back, and giving back of your time, and that's why one of the last questions we always ask is, how do you give back? But, before we ask that, some of the key points is I love when people come on the show and say the same things. And especially when people come on the shows and validate the things that I always say. And that is, when it talks about getting into entrepreneurship, it is scary. You do have your ups and downs. It's hard to do. It's hard to push that button. It's hard to jump off that diving board, if you will, because the income is up and down. And, you've got to be prepared for that. But when you're setting your goals and you're planning, you have to not just look at what you want your business to do. You have to look at, okay, what do I need coming in? When you're starting a business, what do I need to have coming in? What do I need to make to take care of my expenses and my family? And sometimes that means paring things down a little bit as you're getting started. That's something important that a lot of people forget about. My company's making $1 million a year, but I'm taking home nothing. You're not a non-for-profit. If you are, that's great. You should still be paying yourself something. But for a lot of people, I see that every single day. And that's a key with a lot of clients that I work with is, we're bringing in a lot of money, but I'm not putting a whole lot of it in my pocket. That's something that's important to focus on. So with that, let's talk a little bit about, as an entrepreneur, how you do give back to the community, and how do you choose to give back?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'd say there's a handful of things I try to do. Number one is, I love to give away free content. So I do a lot of my blog posts as different ways that I help people. Like on my website, I've got 3 ways that you can use branding to make more money. I give it away for free. I'm like, working with people like Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels, people like Ryan Levesque from the Ask Method. I've got a lot of insights that I'm like, if you guys just do these things, you're going to be more successful. Yep. So giving away free content like that, I love to do. The second one, I love to offer free advice to people. Again, like I seek out mentors, but I'm also a mentor to other people. I think we should have that 3-tier system of, we have a mentor, but we're also mentoring other people. I think that's really important. So I try to do that as much as I can. And then the third, I'm an advisor. I'm on the advisory board of InTeam. So InTeam's short for Inspiration Team. It's a positive messaging media platform where they do short videos to help people overcome some of the challenges that they're facing. So part of my time goes to that, helping JD Bergman and some of the other team members kind of make the right decisions on best moving forward. I love to do that. I work with a few startups too on the side that they send me text messages or send me messages, and they're like, "Hey, someone said this. You should be doing this. What do you think about it?" And I usually just work with them and be like, "Hey, let's hop on the phone. Let's talk about best next steps." So, yeah, those are my big things in giving back. I love to also be a part of our church events too. Doing different charity events with them as well is something I'm very passionate about. But again, I love to help people, figure out. Everyone has goals or desires of what they want to do for their life.
Yep.
So I want to help them accomplish that in the best way possible.
Yep. So absolutely, and that's again key. Get back, and he says.
Yeah, JD Birdman is awesome. Yeah, JD is awesome. So if you're interested in hearing from JD, the Grow Like a Pro podcast just launched his episode today. So go to genesismarketinggroup.com, and there's going to be an option in the menu for podcast. His episode should be right at the top. So Genesis with the J, marketinggroup.com.
So it's not with. So you have the Gen is why do you have it all broken up in the logo? So
there's a story.
Okay,
there's
so
a story.
Give me that because I'm curious.
Yeah. So Ron
it's JEN dash. How do you have it's broken up into like three different words?
JEN dash IS
dash
however it's spelled. So Ron was in the Galapagos Islands, I think in 2017. He was texting Mike, the former marketing director of The Basement Doctor, and he was like, Mike, we need to start our own marketing company. He's like, we do marketing internally for a lot of different contractors all over the world. We need to do our own. So he was like, okay. Mike was like, okay, let's do it. So Ron came back, and they're like, what's a good name? And Ron really liked the genius idea. Well, somehow he got into like new life, and he's like, I love the word Genesis, but of course there's a lot of people that use the name Genesis with the traditional spelling with the G. So Mike was like, okay, let's try to change it up and do it with the J instead. And then Ron really liked if you look up Genesis in a dictionary or a thesaurus, it's got the dashes,
Gotcha.
With the syllables of the word. So
Okay.
that's kind of how it came. The design of the name came from there. So, and then our catchphrase is breathing new life into brands. So that's kind of the idea of like a leaf in the J. Is we're helping businesses grow. We're breathing new life into their brands.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. So any shout outs you want to give real quick, or any website addresses, anything
sure.
that you want to put out to the audience here?
Yeah, definitely.
We've got you tagged obviously in here, so you can pull up info there. But
yeah, for sure. So the biggest thing I'd say, if you want to connect with me personally, go to my personal website. It's thejasonfleagle.com, JASONFLEAGLE. And I always tell people it's Fleagle like a bagel. Like Adam and I on the podcast is like, Fleagle like a bagel. That's me.
there you go. That's your new tagline.
Yeah, for sure. I always wanted to open up like a bagel shop and call it Fleagle's Bagels. I think it'd be so cool. And then, the podcast, Grow Like a Pro. If you guys are interested in being a guest, or you know of someone that would be interested on being a guest, or even have questions, send an email to hello@growlikeaproshow.com. And then, if you're interested in any writing I do, I've got links on my personal website right to that. My blogging platform is convergeblog.com, CONVERGE blog.com.
Now you just released some content that you shared on our page yesterday, didn't you?
Maybe.
Like 10 people. It was like 100 questions in business or something like that. I thought I saw. Maybe not.
There's so much content that I'm
I'm
putting out there.
Released and put up there yesterday. But
I'm working on an e-commerce blog right now, kind of talking about how we generated that return on investment for one of the companies that it's an internal company actually. But I'm trying to get that published in The Mission, which is Medium's largest publication that they have. A lot of really well-known entrepreneurs, some of the best people in the world, in the startup world, in the business world, are contributors for that. So it's an application to get that blog post published on there. So yeah, that's one of the more recent insights I'm kind of putting out there.
Awesome. Well, cool. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks
you
so
for coming
much,
in.
Lance. My pleasure, absolutely.
Upcoming events. I know it's December. I know it's a tough time to get out, but our next networking event, our last networking happy hour of the year, is Monday at... It's not Bear on Board, Erica. Where are we going? Harry Buffalo, off of Sunbury Road, 6 o'clock. It's actually linked on here if you're interested in attending. So that is our last networking event, a happy hour of the year. We also have our networking lunch that's coming up on the December 17th. And that'll be at the Rusty Bucket in New Albany. But Monday, you got to wear your ugly holiday sweater if you're going to come to our event. So Chris, I expect you to have an ugly holiday sweater and be at that event. Chris is thinking, I don't ever get you to come to my event, so why am I coming to yours? No, it gets hard. But it'll be a great time. It'll be a good time. Great happy hour. We've always got 20 or 30 new folks that are there with being such a young group, so looking forward to having everyone out again on Monday. And then we've got a whole content calendar of courses to start next year that are up on the LNA page as well as the Blocko page, from goal setting to our University Live to a whole lot of different events and content that you can take advantage of. And as always, if you're interested in get together and taking advantage of some of my time, I'll be happy to meet you for a coffee meeting anytime. And like we just talked about, whether you just are looking for some advice or looking for some consultation or input on moving your business forward, that's what we're here to do. So thanks for joining us tonight, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Now we got to go push the stop buttons on everything.